Aloha, friends and neighbors, and welcome to Astrology, Ancient Science in the Modern World. I'm your host, Roland Frost, Kona Astrologer. Got a lot of stuff to share with you today. As usual, too much stuff, so I want to get right to it. This is program 1018, and we're going to cover the first week in June 2016. A very confusing month, June, and a lot of gridlock, I would call it, because you've got a new moon coming up on Saturday the 4th at 14 Gemini, and that new moon squares Jupiter, opposes Saturn, and squares Neptune. Yeah, that's why I say gridlock. There's obstacles everywhere. It's going to be hard to do things. Yes, like it hasn't been hard already, huh? So, it's called the Grand Cross, and what happens is the new moon's opposing Saturn, and so we're going to take it out on Saturn. Saturn's the judge, the laws, the superdelegates, the lawyers, the people with coats and ties on. That's Saturn. The guys with the money, the bankers, huh? And we're opposed to them. But as this is going on and we're ticked off at the guys who made the laws, along comes Neptune. And Neptune, he's under color. He's Pisces. I call him priest, artist, doctor, musician. And he represents people like priests and doctors and police. They're all special. They have undercolor in the law area, means they have special privilege, and I've noticed that they're actors. There's a lot of actors here, and the people under privilege, under color, include what I call papered PhDs. I've noticed they're coming out irresponsibly with Neptune is famous for, just saying things and getting away with it. And thing is, he believes what he's saying so strongly, he's really sincere. They learned that with doctors, and placebos, is you could give him a sugar pill, and if he believed in the doctor who gave it to him, he'd get well. It was called a placebo effect. So there's a lot of fishy stuff goes on here with Neptune. He's two fish with the tails tied together. One of them could be real Jesus. The other one, he could have his hand in your pocket for money or sex or something. And sometimes the most sincere, put me in mind, Bill Cosby was on the news. Poor old guy. He was very sincere, and yet he was doing secret stuff. There used to be an old saying when I first started studying astrology, was that Pisces tortured small animals in secret. It rules the 12th house, see. Anyway, it's one of the Enlightenment planets. And if this station, which happens on the 13th of June, and so Neptune gets stronger and stronger, comes up in a bell-shaped curve and goes down. It's starting the 1st of June. It goes through most of June, but it peaks out around June 13th. And that's when your sense of smell will go up. You'll find you're smelling things because you're more sensitive. You'll be more telepathic. Colors brighten, smells brighten. The whole world becomes more colorful because you are more sensitive. Well, you can surmise that I don't like Neptune very much. I'm an Aquarian. I'm a Uranus spirit, a scientist basically, if you want to call me that. And this kind of stuff, they don't like me. They're threatened. Religion here is threatened by science, huh? So I got a good Neptune, trines my rising sign, but heck, I've been tricked a lot. So when does all this tricky stuff come down? Let's get a general look at it first. Here's an ephemeris, and here's the month of June. Here is when Neptune stops, right in the center, huh? So what happens is the moon hits it and squares it and opposes it, comes around and hits it again once a week. And those moon hits basically are on Saturdays. If you look, here's the column for the moon, and there it is in Gemini. So your first confusion period is Saturday the 4th. Then you look at this Saturday, and it's really, really early in the morning here on Saturday. You'll feel it when you get up on the 11th. Here it is again. Now, this first one is strong because here's Venus. Venus is hitting the square, on Thursday, Friday. So young girls are gonna be confused, and there's a tendency to eat sweet things we shouldn't be eating. Yeah, the first part of June. When are you seeing this? Oh, you're seeing it on the 2nd, this show, so you're smack in the middle of it, aren't you? Venus is squaring Neptune. Neptune's slowing down to stop. You better smell that carefully before you eat it. Mercury shows up later, and Mercury also squares Neptune, and words and communication, transportation get confused. That'll happen mostly on the 3rd Saturday, which is the 19th here. And you can see this is the moon's in Sagittarius and squares Neptune, and finally it comes around and hits Neptune itself on Saturday the 25th, and there it is in Pisces. See, so this will be about noontime. The moon will hit Neptune, and these are the times when things get silly, when they're cloudy, when you get lost, when you can go off and buy something you shouldn't buy, when you don't want to believe the guy, but he's really all sincere, okay? Oh, he's so sincere. The priest, artist, doctor, Neptune character is. He believes what he's saying. This is a good deal. He thought it was. Okay, let's go around day by day and see how it works out for you. I've got a chart drawn up. Here's the new moon. It's on Saturday the 4th. If you're on a Thursday show, you're catching a lot of truth all day Thursday. And discovery goes on well into 10, 11 o'clock at night with a nice trine to Pluto. We've been having a lot of discovery lately. Pluto's been so strong. A lot of underground stuff. New information on pyramids and stuff. Google the Bosnia Pyramid or Cholula, the pyramid. Anyway, wonderful stuff Thursday. And as you go into Friday morning, it all changes. Here's Mercury. And it starts off with confused thoughts and gets angrier as the morning goes on, and the moon opposes Mars. So we got Mercury opposing Mars, and everybody's arguing angrily Friday morning, and it kind of disturbs all the enlightenment you had on Thursday. Less talk, the better Friday morning, huh? Saturday, the moon shifted into Gemini. There it is. Actually goes into Gemini Friday after dinner, and a lot of this stuff calms down a little. But, it's just the calm before the storm, because the storm is here on Saturday on the new moon. And the storm is the new moon squaring Neptune, and the waters will not be quiet. And there could be bad smells and chemical problems. Neptune rules liquids, booze, drugs. There'll be all kinds of misinformation, lies, and deceit out there. So I wouldn't believe anything you hear on Saturday. Watch what comes out. That includes the clowns and the lawyers. Jupiter's in square, and Saturn the judge. They're all confused. Are they going to believe the doctor? Hope not. Anyway, there's lots of characters that can get into this mess, and once they're into it, they could be in it all month, and because there's so much confusion and delusion and deception. Sunday morning, there is a sextile to Uranus. The internet cuts through some of it. Common sense shows up and says, hey, wait a minute. Did he really say that? Did she really say that? No, she was mistaken. She exaggerated. She made it up. Anyway, you'll find out some of the secular truth, and put that thing in perspective a little bit. I realized the other day Mercury stopped and went forward, and what was it? It had to do with ritual. Had to do with that word and religion, and those that perform rituals. Well, anyway, a nice new knowledge comes out Sunday morning the 15th. In the afternoon, moon goes into Cancer, and it becomes more acceptable to believe the guy, because the moon's in Cancer here on Monday in the middle of the day. It trines Neptune. Oh yeah, here, do what your doctor tells you, or what the PhD said. It must be true. He's got a paper to prove it. Ha ha ha. Jupiter's in harmony with this. The lawyers say, yeah, he's got the permit, the paper. Monsanto can go ahead and put all those things in there, and that's just fine, and nothing much happens until the outrage after dinner when the moon opposes Pluto and somebody says, hey, wait a minute, who's policing these guys anyway? They're just running off and doing things they shouldn't do. And the power and control issues come up Monday night. Tuesday, the moon's still in Cancer. When you get up in the morning, it'll feel a little herky-jerky. The moon squares Uranus, electrical things, the universal mind, too much noise, horns honking, becomes a little chaotic, huh? Kind of started that when the moon opposed Pluto. There's a guy with the gun, and the moon squaring Uranus. Here's the poor homeless guy that got rousted there Tuesday. So this is a time of some violence and oppressive forces against individuality, Monday night, Tuesday morning. The heroes come out. It's like a sports team, the kids and the young men, and they start fixing things up. Get some work done Tuesday. You know, that's the thing to do. Move around, do something physical. You know, Mars and Mercury, they're happy here. Wednesday, the moon's in Leo, and it feels a lot different because it's a fixed fire sign. And in the evening, around and after dinner, the moon trines Saturn. It settles down considerably. Oh yeah, there's laws. There's tradition. You know, Trump is traditional. He's a Leo. Anyway, this is a nice settling thing, and maybe we should have some laws. You know, I don't know about that. Thursday morning, here's Venus. She's not happy. There's no... So wait a minute, what's going on here? She wants individuality. The moon hits the trine to Uranus. So you got Venus and Uranus here, and the girls say, we want freedom, we want independence. What are you doing to us? And Mercury and Mars are there too, and they're ticked off, and there's angry words again. So listen up, young gals. If you get too uppity here on Thursday, the first half of Thursday, the second half of Thursday could be quite angry. Just enjoy the goodies Thursday morning, and the brotherhood and sisterhood, and you know, don't take it too into action. That's what it's about. Friday, the moon goes into Virgo on the 10th. And it's fine in the morning. Towards the evening, you start getting into the zone of the Grand Cross, you know, which actually hits around breakfast time, when everybody's overdoing it. And that's not what we wanted to do, they say. Well, Neptune starts it all. Really, Friday night. Drinking, alcohol, drugs, deception, confusion. You know, wow. There's a PhD in Australia and he's an associate professor, you know, at Western Australia University, says pot will cause your kids to grow flippers or something, and he read this out of a book and decided to publish it, and bang, is on Yahoo. Neptune, huh? Don't believe nothing here Friday night. You know, these people are out of it. They're drunk, they're confused, they're all full of themselves, they're acting. You know, who, me? I'm not gay. Oh no, I'm an actor. I'm famous. Got famous as an actor for, what is it actors do? Oh, they tell lies. Like Ronnie Reagan. Who's a better actor? They get elected in the USA elections, huh? Well, here's a lawyer popping up. The moon's going by Jupiter Saturday morning and opposing Neptune. And who's this? The ACLU says, Monsanto, Neptune, you can't do that. And there's a way you could stop some of this Neptune action here. with legal and higher knowledge. You know, the lightning bolts of Jove could be used now to stop a halt on Neptune here before he pollutes us all. It's been the story of my life, I'll tell you. Last 75 years, more and more and more pollution, more Neptune, oil, chemistry, plastic. Eek! Well, here's a good time. Too bad it's Saturday. Maybe you could coax somebody into making some laws against all the plastics and against the Roundup and against the chemicals. In my neighborhood, it's overpowering. So you may experience some of that Saturday morning, and you might think up some good ways to use the power of truth and honesty against Neptune, the polluters, those with privilege, you know. Discovery pops up. The moon actually goes by the north node here. There's some nurturing over all of this. So you might get some rewards for figuring out some of these things. And with a trine to Pluto Saturday night, there's more discovery. Yeah. Google the Bosnia Pyramid and start discovering what history really was. More on that in a bit. As you go through Saturday, moon in the late Virgo hits the square to the sun. You won't get too much done here Saturday night, Sunday morning. But early Sunday morning, here's a sextile to Mars. You could get up and cut the lawn and do something physical. Get out there and exercise. You know, get some of that stress off you that happened Saturday by getting out there and doing some physical work Sunday. That might be part of the answer anyway. Neptune. Glug, 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 glug.